What's poppin', T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with tonight's All Tea, All Shade Euphoria Season 2, Episode 8 review. Tonight was the season finale, and when I say they went out with a bang, they went out with a bang, bitch. I thought last season's finale was excellent. This one, they ramped it up. They took it up several notches. Let's get into the review. So we start off exactly where we left off last week with Fez about to leave to head out to Lexi's play. He's already running late. She sends him a text message letting him know that she saved a seat for him in the front. He's super geeked to go. Meanwhile, what's his name? Custer and Ashtray are sitting in the living room. Ashtray has the cutting blade or whatever underneath his sleeve, on go, ready to roll. You know, he is always up for some murder mayhem. Custer does not know that he's sitting on ready. Meanwhile, he has his cell phone on the table on speakerphone for the feds to hear everything, because he's setting Fezco up to get locked up for Mouse's murder. Faye knows what's going on. She's super duper nervous or whatever. Custer is like, you about to leave? And he was like, and Fez was like, yeah, I'm about to go. And he was like, look, I need to talk to you though before you leave. It's real important. We got to talk about, you know, Mouse's murder. And so he looking at him like, the fuck? So, Faye ends up freaking the fuck out and drops the glass in her hand, which distracts Fezco. When she bends down to scoop up the glass, she goes shh to Fezco like, you being motherfucking recorded. At this point, Fezco like, you gotta be motherfucking kidding me with this bullshit. Ashtray looking like, what in the fuck is going on? He peeping game that this is a motherfucking setup. And so Faye then was like, you told me Lori killed Mouse, the drug dealer off Kemper Street. Yeah, that bitch. Yeah, like, you told me that bitch did it. And Custer like, I never said that shit. Like, what the fuck is you talking about, bitch? Like, I thought we was on the same page. So right at this point, instead of letting the shit play out and pin everything on Lori to get her locked up, Ashtray does the unthinkable. This little crazy sociopath jumps up with the blade and jukes Custer in the throat and stabs the shit out of him. And I'm like, fuck. And so is Fezco like, god damn, you little killer, you. So Fezco immediately rushes over and puts his hand over Custer's mouth so that the police don't hear him gurgling and, you know, dying or whatever. So meanwhile, while they have his mouth covered, Custer is all like that or whatever. Blood is seeping through his mouth or whatever, but he eventually dies from suffocation and, you know, choking on his own blood. And I'm like, god damn, Ashtray, you ain't gotta be a G all the time. Like, I fucks with you though, because that's a little murder motherfucker. So then we see a flashback to Fez and Lexi on the phone. You know, they stayed on the phone, booed up, talking about shit, and they talk about their future and what they want for themselves. And Fezco says that, you know, he wants to have a farm somewhere with a family. He wants to be like Little House on the Prairie. Lexi ain't never seen that show, so he hip her to it. She started watching and everything, and she says that her plans is to have a child by the time she's like 30. She want to have 3 kids, so by the time she like 58, the last one have been gone to college, and she can focus the rest of her life on, you know, her life and her husband and, you know, whatever, her writing and all that stuff. And Fezco was like, the kids on Little House in the Prairie, they were 3 kids. So he like, we on the same wavelength. And it just made him happy because he could like visualize himself being with Lexi and there being a future there for them. And I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, it's not gonna happen like that. Oh God. So back in regular real life, Fez is freaking the fuck out because of what the fuck just happened. And he realizes that I'm never going to have this with her. Never. At this moment in my life is officially over. So After Custer is dead, he takes Custer's phone and just plunges it in a cup full of water so they can't hear what the fuck is going on. But he knows that the feds is about to bust up in this motherfucker at any goddamn moment. So we go back to the play, and Rue turns over her shoulder and looks towards the door, and she sees Cassie standing there blowing her hot breath all on the goddamn little plexiglass or whatever, losing it. And so she like, oh shit, like some shit about to go down. And then Susie sees Cassie. She like, oh Lord, this crazy bitch about to flip the fuck out. Cassie then starts strutting her ass down the runway like she on Project Runway or some shit, and everybody peeping game like, what this crazy hoe about to do? Maddy, Cat, everybody looking at her. So she walk her ass up on stage and just immediately start going in on Lexi about Lexi basically being a stalking ass bitch, living her life in the cut, watching what everybody else do, ain't living her life. You want to be me, bitch. You mad because I'm that girl and you're not, pretty much. And she blasts Lexi for wanting to be the star, but you are the supporting actress and I'm the lead. So Lexi is, of course, embarrassed, but I was like, girl, you know your fucking sister is shallow as hell, conceited, and crazy. You knew she was gonna fucking flip out, bitch. You should have gave that bitch a Xanax or something before she arrived. So while she's getting fronted out and embarrassed in front of everybody, Susie comes on stage and was like, hi, I'm the mom in real life. Everybody was looking like, oh God, you are a wreck, honey. If you are anything like your daughter, is portraying you. So then her ignorant ass thanks Ian for portraying her so well. Ian like, thank you, girl. I'm so happy you like it. Meanwhile, Lexi like, mom, get this crazy bitch. Mom. Cassie freaking out. Times I deserve this because I lived the life. You're a fucking bystander. The crowd then started booing Lexi, and she was like, Cassie. She was like, I'll be the motherfucking villain, sure motherfucking will. I'll be the fucking villain. And at this point, I'm thinking, where is the principal? Where is the vice principal, bitch? Where is the superintendent? Where is the lunch lady? Where is the rest of the administrative staff? Why ain't nobody stopped this play? First of all, it's hypersexual. What kind of school is Euphoria High? I need to go talk to the goddamn superintendent or somebody, because everybody need to be fired. Like, I don't know what in the fuck kind of school this is, bitch, but I wish I would have went to Euphoria High, goddamn it, because they get away with everything. So, Cassie was like, so let me guess, is this the part of the play where I steal Marta's boyfriend? Marta's character is Maddy in real life. And Maddy was like, it is now, from the audience, because Maddy's still on go and she want that ass. She was like, Hallie is a two-faced fucking cunt. Hallie is Cassie's character. And Cassie was like, no, bitch, you're a fucking cunt. And then fucking Maddy was like, no, bitch, you're the fucking cunt. And they going back and forth from the audience. At this point, all the kids at school realized that, oh shit, Cassie fucking Nate and took Nate from Maddy. So they like, oh shit, it's about to go down. So then the play just starts and continues or whatever, and it's from a scene from last season when Cassie freak ass was on the fucking merry-go-round fucking herself and fucking coming on herself on the goddamn merry-go-round. And she like, I know you fucking lying. I know this bitch did not put this in this motherfucking play. So she literally loses it, tackles the girl that's playing her character and tries to start beating her up. And so Maddy was like, oh, this bitch really thinks she about it. She thinks she rowdy. Okay, this bitch needs to be dealt with. So Maddy then was like, I'm about to fuck her up. Maddy then runs to the stage, kicks off her shoes like a true black girl. Cat fat ass running behind her, Thompson, girl, no, don't do it. Cat, shut your ass the fuck up. Shut up, because Cassie been need her ass whooped for old and new. Maddy then started chasing Cassie around the motherfucking stage. Everything is just out of fucking order. She finally catches Cassie ass and backhands and slaps the shit out of Cassie. Everybody like, what in the hell is going on? Maddy then chases her out of the theater, down the hall. The vape girl, Thomas, so Cassie get her. Thomas, so Maddy get her. Whoop her ass. I'm the vape girl. Meanwhile, Cat trying to stop all this. Maddy catches fucking Cassie and shoves her ass into one of the lockers, damn near knocking her ass the fuck out. I was over here with my mouth like, bitch, this better than any fight I ever went to that ever happened at one of my that the high school that I went to. So then we see Rue in the audience, and she peeps Elliot sitting a few rows behind her catacorn or whatever. So then we go and see a flashback to her going to see him at his house and basically telling him that, thank you for snitching on me, because if you wouldn't have, I probably would have been dead. Like, thank you for like saving my life, low key. Even though what you did was fucked up, you low key saved my life or whatever. And he asked if she seen Jules, and she was like, nah. She was like, it's gonna take me a little bit longer to, confront that situation, because she's making her rounds dealing with the people in her life that she's hurt. So then Elliot sings a song to her that he wrote or whatever. Really good song, because that was him actually singing. He's a singer in real life. I actually want to find that song. I wish they wouldn't have did the whole song on this episode, because I would have preferred to see more of the fight between Maddy and Cassie. But it was a beautiful song nonetheless that I will be downloading if it's available. So after he gets done singing the song to Rue, he asks, is there a way that we can still be friends? And she was like, didn't you say we are like bad for each other? He was like, yeah, I did say that, and I still stand on that. So that's your answer. Like, we don't need to be around each other, because he asked her, was she clean? And she said, yeah. She asked him, was he clean? And he was like, nah. So they really don't need to be hanging with each other. Like, nah, I'm good. So back at present time during the play, Rue, he nods his head like, what's up? And she nods her head like, what's up? And kind of like smiles to herself, because they're not enemies, but they will never be friends like that. Like, it's just good between them. It'll be a high and by type thing. So in real life, the guy that plays Elliot and Jules are dating for real in real life. So shout out to them. So then Lexi is behind the stage, just depleted. She's embarrassed. She's like, all this hard work I've done, like, this is just a shit show. And so the black girl that's basically underneath her, that's running everything backstage, was like, girl, at least this motherfucker ain't boring, bitch. Like, get the fuck up, dust yourself off, and try again, and let's fucking go. So Lexi like, you know what? Fuck yeah, let's go. So she goes backstage, and the whole, crew is waiting on her go ahead, and she kind of like stuck, like, can we do this? So everybody's like outside in the audience wondering what is going on. Is the play over? Was that a part of the play? What is going on, Jesus? So Rue, being the true friend that she is to Lexi, starts a Lexi chant and hypes everybody up, and everybody starts chanting, Lexi, Lexi, Lexi. So that pumps Lexi up. Lexi tells the actors, let's get it. Let's motherfucking go. Let's do this shit. So Lexi goes on stage and addresses the crowd and lets them know that none of that was planned. And I told a friend of mine that I was wondering if people was gonna get upset with me, and that he told me sometimes people gotta be mad. Sometimes people gotta get their feelings fucking hurt, and that's true tea. Sometimes the truth hurts, and the truth will set you free and down a better path, so you can really see yourself. So she was like, I dedicate this to him. And so she was talking about Fez, of course, and it was so sad that he was not there to see her play. And I know her feelings was hurt, because he promised her that he was going to be there. And I know she wondering, like, do he not want to fuck with me no more? Was he leading me on? Like, what is going on with this situation? So back at Fez's house, we see him knock the shit out of Ashtray, basically for fucking up, and tells him to go outside, surrender, wash your hands and stuff first, because I'm gonna get way longer time than you ever will, but I'm still not gonna let you go to jail for this. Like, I'm going to take the blame for this. Give me the knife. I'm gonna say I did it. Ashtray still not speaking. He never spoke a word throughout his whole character being on the show, and he just shaking his head like, no, I'm not gonna let you do that. And Fez was like, look, motherfucker, I'm not letting you take the rap for this. I'm going to handle this or whatever. So Fez takes the knife, puts it in his hands, and, wipes the blood and everything on his hands to make it look like he did it. Ashtray, instead of going to wash his hands and go outside to surrender, this little crazy motherfucker goes to the dryer room, the wash and dry room and starts taking out all of their motherfucking artillery, bullets, guns, and everything. So Faye then goes and looks at the cameras, security cameras, and sees that the feds is outside. So she like, oh shit. So her ass is just stepping back because she knows they about to come in and wreck some shit, like Rex and effects in the Mac checker. So Faye was geeked, like she was shook or whatever. So Fed sees Ashtray with the motherfucking guns. He like, Ashtray, no, put that shit back. Like, you not about to do this. Go outside. Go surrender. I got this. Like, do not do this. So Ashtray just standing there with a shotgun in his hand with tears going down his face, like, I made up my mind. Like, ain't nothing you can do to stop me. Meanwhile, Ashtray is standing in the doorway of the bathroom. Fesco standing in the hallway, like begging him, like, please do not do this. Please. Like, it's already bad enough. Like, please do not do this. Meanwhile, Faye just edging back real quiet. Like, holy shit. Ashtray, while he's not looking, then hits Fez in the face to distract him, knocked him down on the ground, and locks the bathroom door. Fezco was like, Ashtray, open the door, like, put the guns down. Please, Ashtray, don't do this. Then we see Nate in the car speeding with a gun in his hand to a warehouse where Cal and his little gay friends and some women in there just having a grand old time listening to Kylie Minogue or whatever. I'm like, he is so fucking gay. So hold up, y'all, my microphone is about to go off. Let me hurry up. So where was I at? Nate then gives his father a hug, and Nate's father's friends Nate's Cal's friends is like, who is this? And he was like, this is my son. So Nate was like, we have in common that we both like to hurt people. Cal then asked to talk upstairs, and Nate was like, no, we gonna talk right here. No, bitch, I'm gonna air your shit out. So Nate was like, are you happier? And he was like, yes, in some ways. And he was like, that's not fair. You don't get to ruin our lives and be happier, bitch. Like, that is not how this about to play out. So Nate then gets to talking about the tapes that he saw at the age of 11 of his daddy fucking hookers and shit in hotel rooms, and how he started having nightmares of his daddy then fucking him. So we now know that his father did not molest him. He just was having nightmares about the situation. Cal, of course, is embarrassed and makes everybody leave. So then Cal admits that he fucked up and that he should have kept Nate safe, but that he loves him, and what he did was the biggest regret of his life. Nate then pulls out the gun and says he wants revenge. So Nate was like, Cal was standing there looking like, what you mean you want revenge? Nate puts the gun up and then pulls out a USB thing out of his pocket. And at that point, Cal hears the police pulling up, and he like, don't do this. Please do not do this. Nate, don't do this. And Nate was like, I don't think that you're ever going to change. Like, you are who you are. And he walks off, and he opens the door for the police chief and lets him in. And then Cal is arrested and takes his sick ass to jail. And I feel like this was the writer's way of redeeming Nate, because I always saw redeeming qualities in Nate since season 1. And on last week's episode, when he was having that nightmare about his father fucking him, if you paid attention, that the sheets and everything that he was laying on was the exact same hotel that his father used to fuck the hookers. And it was in the same position that he fucked Jules in. He was thinking about Jules and also thinking about the fact that, having these nightmares about his daddy molesting him. But he loves Jules. When him and Jules was in the car and she was like, why did you do this for me? He was like, it's really simple, but we don't even need to get into all that. He loves her, and they're going to end up together because they're supposed to be together. He just has to learn how to accept who he is and his sexuality. And I think that they're going to push Nate in the road of redemption, but it's going to take a while for him to get there, because he about to take Miss Cassie through it, honey, through it. So back at Fezco house, the feds busting the house with smoke bombs. Faye ass fall to the ground, child. Ashtray in the bathroom loading up the guns, ready to go to motherfucking war while in the bathtub. Faye is on the ground, like I said. Fez is at the door begging Ash to come out. He like, Ashtray, come out. Please don't do this. Please, please, please. That shit was gut wrenching. It was gut wrenching to watch. And so the police come in with, with silencers, with guns, with the fucking red dots on everybody. Fez got his hands up like, please don't shoot. Please don't shoot. It's a kid in there. It's a fucking kid in there. They like, put the knife down. He drops the knife. He's stepping back slowly with his hands up. He like, please don't do it. Ash, come out. Ash, come out. Please don't do it. It's a kid in there. Please don't do it. My hands is up. Ash hears a smoke bomb go off and think that it's somebody has shot, and he starts shooting. As soon as he starts shooting, one of the bullets hits Fezco in the stomach, and Fezco drops to the ground. I'm like, Lord have mercy. But remember, on the first episode, I told y'all that Fezco is either gonna die or get locked up, and I was right. He almost dies, but he's gonna go to jail. So Fezco is crying while bleeding out on the floor or whatever. He just like, Ash, stop. Ash, stop. Ash, for a minute, things die down. Ash just sitting there, but he like, fuck that. I'm already here. Let's go. Ash continues to motherfucking shoot. I'm like, God damn, this is an all-out war. So while Fezco was on the ground crying, begging for Ash to stop, Lexi's note to him falls out of his pocket. And I was like, oh my God. This is a metaphor for everything that he was building with her. The life he could have had with her will not happen, at least not right now. It will probably never happen, but all of the good that could have happened to him and him getting on the straight and narrow will never happen now. So Fez is steady calling out Ash name. He like, Ash. After, meanwhile, like I said, the feds have actually shot up the whole fucking bathroom, shot that bitch the fuck up. So Fez is like, Ash. Ash doesn't answer, so they think that he's dead. One of the police go to the door, open the door. They see his body on the ground. They like, he's down. Next thing you know, Ashtray popped the fuck up like he fucking Jason or Freddy Krueger and shoot the shit out the motherfucking officer in his chest. The officer falls to the ground. Fezco looking like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. He looking at Ashtray looking at him, and then Ashtray realizes that there is a red beam on him. The red beam travels from his chest all the way to his head. And I was like, they about to do a kill shot on this kid. God damn. Next thing you know, he gets shot in the head, and Fezco is laying on the ground watching it as it happens. Meanwhile, the grandmama is just still in there comatose in the bed, not knowing none of this shit is happening. So the story ends with Fezco getting arrested, bleeding out. He's witnessed his little brother murdered, house shot up, and his life is pretty much over at this point. Because I'm wondering, is he still going to take the blame for this murder, or what's going to happen with this? So we'll get the fallout of Fezco's story next season, with Fezco being in jail and all of this stuff. And then you got to remember, the whole crew still got to find out that he was locked up, because they still don't know. So at the play, Rue's character reads the eulogy that she read at her father's funeral about, this is where the part where the character never recovers. Very much so a la what just happened with Fezco. Then we see Lexi at the hospital with Rue's mom after Rue had overdosed when they were younger. So all of this, meanwhile, is being played out on stage during the play. Then we see Susie holding Lexi and saying to her, feels like your whole life you've been forced to take care of everyone. And if that ain't the God's honest truth. Then we go back to Rue at the funeral reading her eulogy to her father and saying how her standing back watching the EMTs say, let's lift on 3. When I tell you, that made me cry, because it took me back to when I was actually 13 and my grandmother died in front of me, and I remember them rolling her onto the floor and having to lift her up onto the stretcher, and they said the exact same thing, and I'm standing there with tears in my eyes, and it was just one of the most traumatic experiences of my life. So that just sent me, honey. It just sent me. And she was saying how she was just trying to stand there like she didn't care, but she did care. Like, this is her father, somebody that she will never get to see again, and how bad it hurt. So, once again, going back to the Fez situation, when he was handcuffed and lifted out of the house, we see one of the feds step on Lexi's card again, just basically showing how it will never be. it will never be, and how another teenage boy will end up living a life in prison. And because of his circumstances and how he grew up, like, he never had a chance. But with Lexi, they could have had a chance together. Like, she was his light, at the end of the tunnel, but it will not happen now. So back at the play, Jules is in the audience, realizing exactly how bad it was for Rue when she lost her father. Like, she gets it now. She gets why she's been in so much pain. Rue cries in the audience, and when her character's on stage talking about how her father told her, I'll be there with you every time that you close your eyes or whatever. So she closes her eyes and, she's with her dad at that moment. And I was just like, oh my God, this is too much. The writing is just fabulous. So then we see a part of the play. This did not happen in real life. This part was a part of the play. This did not happen in real life. We see in the play, Rue calls Lexi and tells her, the play was really good. I love what you did. What you doing later on? Can I come through? And Lexi was like, oh my God, like, my friend is back. Like, I got my friend back. And this was her way in the play of showing that this is what she hoped the outcome would be with her and Rue. So we then show in the play, after Rue reads the eulogy, she goes outside and sits on the porch with Kat, Maddy, and Lexi. And was Cassie there? And Cassie, I believe. And she sits on the porch with them, and they're talking about high school and how high school is going to be. Because, once they reached high school, everything changed for them. And they, fell apart from each other. So Susie comes outside and was like, oh my God, let me get a picture of you girls. And Lexi like, Mom, no. And that was the last photo that they all took together as friends before everything officially changed for them. So then we see Rue at Lexi's house telling her how she doesn't know what to do with her pain like Lexi does. So meanwhile, this is a part of the play. This did not happen in real life. This is what Lexi hopes the outcome will be. So both girls admit to missing their dads, but Lexi admits that it got to a point where she just wished he would just stop calling, at this point. But now, every time the phone rings, she wishes it was him that was on the other end. And Rue says that, that she can't hold on to this pain forever. It doesn't feel good. Like, she just wishes that she was as strong as Lexi to be able to deal with all the fucked up shit that didn't happen to her. But she don't know if she's able and strong enough to do it. And then Rue goes on to explain to Lexi that her father wants better, but he only wants better for her and not himself. So basically, until he gets to a place where he wants it from himself, that he won't beat his addiction until then. And that this has nothing to do with her. This is all about him. So it's obvious that Lexi and Cassie's father is still alive, but he's just on drugs, and drugs has, taken his life. Lexi then says to her, we go back to the play at this point with them sitting on the floor, and Lexi says to Rue, as Rue hugs her, I miss you. And the play ends. The crowd gives the whole play a standing ovation. Rue is just overjoyed with everything that she saw, stands up clapping her hands, and we see that what Lexi hoped for will happen with her and Rue becoming friends again and rekindling their friendship, because Rue is not upset with her. She needed to see herself. So back in the bathroom, Cassie sitting on the sink fucked up. Cassie, her all over the place. She got a bloody nose, scratches on her face. Meanwhile, Kat standing there looking like Maddy sitting there with her shoes off, sitting on the sink with a Coke bottle in her hand. I didn't really understand what the Coke bottle symbolized. I don't know if she was gonna beat that bitch with it. I don't know, but she was just looking at that hoe like and then Vape Girl just standing off to the side peeping game. So Cassie was like, what's funny is Nate broke up with me right before I went on stage. And Maddy was like, don't worry, this is just the beginning. Like, bitch, because I'm nowhere near done with you. And this is just the beginning of Nate destroying your fucking life, bitch, and taking your ass on a motherfucking merry-go-round, hoe. So get ready, because he gonna be on your ass, taking you back and forth, and I'm really about to be on your ass, because this ain't over, hoe. And so Maddy leaves at that point, and Cassie sitting there like, oh my God, like, this ain't it? Like, what have I done? Like, I have truly fucked up. Rue sits in the audience in awe of what she just saw. Jules comes over and sits by her and was like, I know you probably still mad at me, but I just want to let you know that I love you and I miss you so much. Rue just sits there for a minute, and she still isn't ready to really have that conversation with Jules, because there's still a lot of hurt there and anger. So she gives Jules a forehead kiss and walks away, because things will never be the same between them. First of all, Jules cheated on her. And I think she's not necessarily mad at Jules for telling on her about the drugs, but it was more so her fucking Elliot. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a wrap with you because you are selfish. You know what I'm saying? So Jules sits in the audience and cries because she realizes that she lost one. So Rue leaves the play, walking through the halls, and she was like, Jules was my first love. You know, at least I think she was, because I was high for most of it, so who really knows. She was like, you know, I hope one day she can forgive me. You know, then she admits, I stayed clean for the rest of the school year. I don't know if this feeling will last forever, but I'm trying. So I'm guessing what we'll see next season is, like I said, the continuation of where we just left off, with them finding out what happened with Fezco. And it's good to hear that Rue stays clean throughout this whole thing, with her finding out what happened to Fezco and everything, and that won't cause her to relapse. But I feel like her and Lexi will now need each other more than ever, and instead of breaking apart like they did when their fathers died, they will come together now to be a support system to each other and to Fezco, because Fezco is going to need them now more than ever, because he doesn't have anybody. You know, his ashtray is dead, his grandmother is in a home somewhere, who knows. Like, he'll need Rue and Lexi more now than ever. And so as Rue is leaving the school, she says, you know, I heard from Ali said to me one time that the thought of maybe being a good person is what keeps me trying to be a good person. Maybe there's something to that. And so hopefully, you know, this is where we'll be next season, with, in fact, Rue still trying to be sober, trying to be a good person, trying to be a better daughter and sister and friend. Hopefully next season we'll get to see more of Gia's storyline, with, you know, because Gia been acting out, and now that Rue is sober, maybe she can be a support system and a help to her sister to get her sister back on track. We'll see what happens with Fezco while he's in jail with this whole trial. Remember, Rue still owes Lori 10 G's. I'm wondering, will the police now be going after Lori based off what Faye said while they were listening in on the conversation? We'll see what happens with Faye. I guess it's going to be so much shit next season, child. Maddy still going to be on Cassie's ass. Nate going to be taking Cassie ass through. Meanwhile, low key, I feel like him and Jules are going to slowly but surely start to connect again, because they're meant to be together, and I'm here for it. I don't care what y'all say. I'm here for them, and I feel like Jules will be Nate's redemption. I wonder what's going to happen with McKay's character. We literally only saw him for 2 episodes, maybe 1. I wonder, we're gonna go back to Kat's story and build something for her next season, since she didn't really have a storyline this one. But yeah, y'all, and that was Zendaya singing at the end of the episode, sounding angelic as always. I'm seeing now that every season finale will end with a song with Zendaya. She posted on her social media, on her IG story, that her and Labyrinth collaborated on a few songs for this episode, and that was one. I really want Zendaya to start back singing again. If you don't know, she had an album out a few years ago, about 8 years ago. and she can sing. We all know Zendaya can dance her ass off. I really want her to get back into that space again and be confident in her singing. We all know she's confident in her dancing, but Zendaya can sing down. Like, I really want her to give music another try. But yeah, this was an excellent season of Euphoria. I give the whole entire season an A+. It was everything it needed to be and more. So many life lessons, so many triggering moments. Like, the acting on Zendaya's behalf was absolutely stellar. If she could win an Oscar for this, she should, even though she won't, because the Oscars don't acknowledge television, just movies. And I feel like they need to change that. I feel like the Oscars need to acknowledge television as well, and not just movies, because there is so much dynamic, extraordinary, stellar work on network television that needs to be acknowledged, not just up to the platform of Golden Globes. You know what I'm saying? So the acting, like I said, by Zendaya, by the dude that plays Fezco, this episode, he really showed his range and what he was able to do. It just wasn't the monotone Fezco that we've seen for the first 2 seasons. He really got to go there this episode. What's her name? Sweeney, the girl that plays Cassie, she needs to get nominated for Best Supporting Actress, because she did the damn thing. She did that. The 3 of them need to be nominated, as well as the lady that plays Rue's mama. All 4 of them need to be nominated this award season coming up. I'm pretty sure they will be. Know for a fact Zendaya will be nominated, and I believe the girl that plays Cassie will, of course, be nominated next award season. So I'm just super excited. You guys be on the lookout tomorrow for my Fashion Killer, SAG Awards, NAACP Awards red carpet review with my girl Sharita, where we talk everything fashion, what we think about the fashions that hit the red carpet. You know, we go in, honey, and let have. Can't wait for that to drop tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next video. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. Love you. Bye.